Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to The Sphere. This episode is sponsored by Houston Housewives of Finance. For more information on increasing your cash flow, becoming your own money manager, and to schedule your complimentary personal finance strategy, contact the Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463.
The Sphere Network. Looking to advertise? Join the Sphere's vast demographic reach of thousands of people all over the world. Send an email today at advertise@thesphere.tv or call us at area code 832-772-7789. Elite Dental Wellness. At Elite Dental Wellness, Dr. Ashandra Baptiste understands that one of the biggest obstacles is dental fear. The vision at Elite Dental Wellness is to ensure every patient is treated with respect, ultimate care, patience, and love. Call us today to make an appointment at area code 713-789-8680.
What's up, good people? Welcome back to another episode of Technocrats, where we talk about the ins and outs of technology to empower the digital you. I am your host, Gary Lee, also known as G Hawkins. Of course, you can find me anywhere online: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. I said a bunch of other stuff on another show. Like I said, MySpace, Friendster. I just named some other stuff. Black Planet. Everywhere. I know, right? At G Hawkins. That's G Hawkins with a Z. Yeah. And I'm sitting here with the man of the hour, Jay. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? Got that fresh haircut. I see you.
Oh, yeah, man. I feel good. Had to get it in, man. So much going on here in H-Town. I guess we'll let our viewers know what we facing. Want to know what we facing here, bro?
Look, Hurricane Alicia all over again. No, I don't know.
Steve Harvey.
See, here's my thing. People always make comments regarding hurricanes and safety and things like that, which I think are important. We'd rather be safe than sorry. However, there are some people who kind of exaggerate situations a little bit. So, I personally don't think it's going to be at the Alicia levels. I hope it's not, because I can remember that flooding. I can remember, homes and communities being devastated, a lot of wealth being lost. Right. So I understand the power of that. But at the end of the day, I want to make sure people are safe. Since we're a technology podcast, if you've got expensive computing equipment, go ahead and unplug it. Why even test your surge suppressor? Why even test your battery backup if you don't need to? Mm-hmm. We will be unplugging our equipment. Mm-hmm. So make sure you unplug yours, man. If you've got electric vehicles, you might not want to keep them charged in the middle of a storm. I'd hate for you to get a surge that destroys your inverter or your charging mechanism. It just doesn't make sense, right? So be err on the side of caution versus not caring. But at the same time, I do think people hype up these situations a little bit. So, but, safety first. That's all I got. What about you, Jay?
So the studio will be flooded next week.
Hell to the no. Okay, we will have no flooding up here, not on this floor, and surely, not in the future. So I am saddened because we may have to postpone our Houston Podcasters meetup. For those that don't know, if you're in the Houston area, you listen to this, we meet up each and every fourth Saturday over at Prospect Park Galleria, and we just kick back, have some drinks, grab some snacks, talk podcasting, the back end stuff. We talk with fans, people that just want to come out. So we were going to have this on Saturday, but based on the information we get tomorrow by noon, we may postpone it to the following fourth Saturday in September. Well, it just is what it is. Things happen.
Yes.
So, but this too shall move on.
Yes,
we will press on, and we will hop into some technology because we want to make sure that we're giving you the goods. Remember, you got any questions about anything we're talking about, you can hit us up on Facebook Live. We're on live right now for the first 15 minutes. If you're not listening to this live, think about that. If you've downloaded this podcast and you're listening to the audio, if you want to hop on the video side, you can check us out. Check us out on Facebook. Ask us some questions while we're doing this. You can do that right now if you're on Facebook. And, of course, if you want to reach us after the fact, send us an email, technocrats@thesphere.tv, or social media @thesphere.tv, #technocrats. So let's hop into some news. And this is kind of a news plus digital trends, because I think it kind of fits in both arenas. Am I right, Jay?
Yes,
when we're talking about autonomy, one of the things that we want to talk about is the fact that driverless cars are a little closer than we once thought. Now, we were joking before the show even started.
Yes.
And like I said, I remember when we were talking, and it was like, oh, we'll see this within 10 years, right? 2016 when we started the show. We'll see this within 10 years. So by 2025, 2026, whatever. Then it kind of dropped down to like, maybe by 2023, 2022, it's steady pulling that number back. Here we are in 2017. Now the number's 2021. So this particular article from Futurism says that NVIDIA, that's the video card company that they're talking about, expects to see fully autonomous cars by 2021. Now, the big thing about this is the fact that, one, you already got big manufacturers, Jay, that are already buying in. Right. And for those that are watching us, I'm sure one of these subscribers here is a Tesla owner.
Yes.
And if you are a Tesla owner and you've purchased since October 2016, you've got an NVIDIA GPU in your vehicle that handles your car's autonomy. And that's not the only company that is signed on, Jay.
Right.
So I say that to say, were you excited when this article came across your browser, your RSS feed, man? How do you feel about the fact that we're roughly the company that's building the brains for autonomous vehicles is saying that within 4 years, it's on and popping. 3. I mean, we're almost in 2018 right now. 3 years away.
Right. Well, I got excited to the fact that, I like NVIDIA. I've been following for many years, way back to the days of building the PC and doing the gaming. And also they came out with the Shield, which was a flop, unfortunately. But NVIDIA themselves as a whole has always been giving us, like, in a sense, the alien technology. They always constantly pushing the envelope, giving us things to get the best out of our graphics and our visual experience. And one of the things we're talking about here today, like Gary referenced the Tesla having the autonomous vehicle and also working with some heads-up displays. They had this PX board. And you can see this PX board is so advanced. It has different things it ties into, camera systems, sensors, and it can sense the things in your environment. But one of the biggest thing is he touched on, like in 2021, is that for those who are watching the video podcast, we do have a picture of that board that you can look at, the actual PX board. And you're going to see this computer processing or this computer GPU board actually is going to go inside your car. And when it goes inside your car or your autonomous vehicle, it's handling all the rendering of the camera shots and the things that's around that's being pulled in from the cameras and the sensors. But in addition to that, it can be tied and relayed back to like an operations center or a transportation site to be able to see someone remotely can see exactly what all the car is seeing or what all it's sensing, picking up from its sensors as well. But the big thing is that the push in 2021, they even saying as early as 2019 that someone needs to be on the road, but it'll be really commercialized in 2021, is that we have a picture too of these little robot pods, man. And Gary, when you saw those robot pods, was there one in particular? We can get that picture pulled up of the pods. Was it one in particular that you liked?
I don't think there was one that really. Here's my thing, man. I'm from that old school, so I still enjoy the idea, the concept of driving. But when I do see this, at this point, it moves from aesthetics to functionality, right?
Yes.
So you see, you've got different styles. Wheels aren't being shown, things like that. The Urban Light, for those that are listening, you're audio only. The Urban Light Transport Pod in London. This is a 4-seater. 4-kilometer route from the airport, and this is right now. And then WePod from the Netherlands. So you've got vehicles that are doing these things currently, but they're in a very how do I say, controlled environment.
Right.
They're in a vacuum, so to
Right.
speak. At your big airports, more than likely, you're going to find these things that where it can be controlled. And obviously, we've been in things like that. I know over at IH, you've
Yeah.
got, your trams and things like that. They're no one drives that.
Right.
It is what it is. But I say all that to say this. You notice that most of these countries are European based, which tells you something. Obviously, they're moving forward, which we've always talked about Germany and other places that are pushing the culture forward with renewable energies and wanting to become more efficient overall. At the end of the day, I think the direction is correct. I also think that the direction is necessary, and we'll start to see the benefits of it. You know what I'm saying? The safety aspects of things. I think
Right.
this will allow us to have more interaction, which means consumption, which means consumerism,
Yes.
which means buying. So I think there's so many different things that are going to come from giving humans back, 10 hours a week. Not
Right.
having to drive 2 hours a day,
Right.
to work and back home dealing with traffic.
Right,
That 10
I
hours
know.
a week will
Yeah.
add up to a lot of different things. And
Right.
what's funny, while you was over here talking, I'm over here thinking like, man, by the time I'm 40, I'm 37,
Yeah.
right? By the time I'm 40, I may not be driving anymore. I may never drive again after the age of 40. How you feel
Yeah.
about that, Jay? You may never drive again, good sir. By the time you turn 40, 41, 42, you might never drive again, man. How you feel about that?
I really haven't even thought about it because we talk about these dates and years, but I just haven't really saw myself being in that type of experience yet. But it's right around the corner, bro.
Literally.
It's literally right around the corner.
Literally.
And myself trying to imagine myself being inside of a robot taxi and having something deployed in the neighborhood to take me everywhere I want to go. Man,
It's real stuff.
Yeah, I look forward to it
Yeah.
in a sense to be able to have that type of experience. And we know we're looking forward to the Uber and the Lyft doing what they're going to be bringing to the table,
Better
releasing
not
soon.
Sit back too long because these other companies are going to pass them up. And even in this article, the NVIDIA CEO during his call, and they had an earnings call not too long ago. Actually, stock dropped about 15 points, and then it bounced back another 20. I was in the middle of that, but that's a whole nother conversation for
Yeah.
the financial show.
Yes.
But he's already talking about the fact that they're working on 6 or 7 projects for robot taxis already that look very, very promising, that have betas already built today, right? So it's like they're already beta testing this stuff. This isn't something of fan fiction. This isn't something that's sitting idly just in patent form. They're tangible products that are out right now that are doing this functionality, that's ready to go commercial, that's ready to hit mainstream, that little Sally, little Jesse will be picked up in a personless Uber that's taking them to and from.
Yes.
I mean, and which disrupts a lot of
Yes,
businesses.
yes, it will.
Oh, man.
And then I'm sad to say I'm sorry for those who depend on that for to take care of themselves and raise their families. But I actually look forward to that.
Yeah.
Having an experience. I know I've probably missed some of the human interaction, but I think after a while you get used to it. But
Just like everything.
yeah, but speaking on the finances, like I say, it's very important
Speak on it.
that we as technocrats and people in general, be more astute with our finances and more responsible. But if we need help and assistance, we can mention and think about and focus on our sponsor that we have. And this portion of the show is sponsored by Houston Housewives of Finance. Wow. 39% of Americans carry credit card debt from month to month. And 39% of adults say they don't have enough savings. Don't become one of these statistics. Let Houston Housewives of Finance advise you on increasing your cash flow and becoming your own money manager by scheduling your complimentary personal financial strategy. Contact Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463 or email us at info@houstonhousewivesoffinance.com. Ask us how you can participate in a complimentary financial literacy workshops near you. Houston Housewives of Finance are the new faces of the new age of financial services.
Yes, they are. They've helped me on my financial track. So I want to shout out to Houston Housewives of Finance. So definitely
Yes.
get your money right.
Yes.
Now I want to give something back to the listeners just real quick. Intern held up a sign and asked about the cars being hacked. Now, obviously, safety is always a big concern with people. Companies build in safety measures upon safety measures. However, nothing's unhackable, right? So there has to be a large enough desire and a big enough reason for things to be hacked. So that's a concern that people are going to have. And I think it's a warranted concern about people hacking infrastructure, especially your vehicles. But keep in mind, there are a lot of vehicles today that have IP addresses, IPv4 addresses, IPv6 addresses, that have MAC addresses that are floating around connected right now, and we don't see that happening. For whatever reason. I don't know enough about the back end IT logistics that go into automotive manufacturing, but I would say that that's a contingency I think big companies are definitely aware of, because the worst thing that could happen is you're in an autonomous vehicle that's hacked and it's a death car. Like you're on death race.
You're talking about ransomware. That's a whole other form of having a ransom. Hijacking somebody's car.
Exactly. You can brick somebody's car. Like that's weak sauce on a whole another level. Yeah. But speaking about cars, let's talk about something that would benefit these same electric cars we're talking about, and that's wireless charging. Looks like there's a lot of movement, pun intended, happening when it comes to wireless charging that's coming down the pipe, and a major hurdle has just been overcame. Let's talk about this a little bit, Jay. Now, electric cars, obviously, one of the biggest things about them, they can be limited based on the capacity, and the charging time is not something that a lot of people are accustomed to. Right. You know, telling somebody you got to sit somewhere for 45 minutes to charge a car is difficult when they're accustomed to 4, 5, 6 minutes at the pump.
Right.
But it looks like these two doctors have made a way, or professors rather, have made a way to provide some interesting charging techniques with power transmission at very close range. Let's talk about this a minute, Jay.
Yes. Yeah, so these two professors there at Stanford, they broke pretty much the code in a sense, and was successful in transmitting this electricity. And of course, they did it on something that was a small form factor first, a test subject, a test device. But they see that this can be scaled well, and that they can do little improvements on their science, and they can get it to the point to where in the very near future that they are saying that this can actually be installed along the highways, the new future highways, and that it can charge to vehicles while they are actually driving down the highway.
Now, let me say something to you, man. This, if anybody's watching, tweet Elon Musk right now and say, yo, this is the next piece of technology that you want to get your hands into.
Right.
Because if you can now charge the vehicles while in motion,
yes.
Could you imagine not having to stop ever?
I know.
Like that, we're talking about game changing.
Right.
But there's a lot that goes into that, right? Because you're talking about repaving millions of miles of roads across America.
Yes.
However, if I'm going to pay a toll, I'd rather pay a toll for a road that's charging my car at the same time.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Right. But I think one of the things that would really help a lot of people like here in Houston, Tech Stock, a lot of people in the infrastructure and public works departments around the big, large cities, is that this technology, I think more than 80% of it can be leveraged off of solar energy and power. Yeah. So now you're telling me I can build this highway where I don't really have to do all these miles and miles of cabling, tying stuff into utilities companies to provide lights, overhead lights over the highways or different ramp systems. And all this is being done from the sun. And I don't have a bill anymore for the city, for the night lights. And I'm charging up the vehicles.
Talk about it.
I think this will help them when they're
budgeting.
That's a win-win. Yeah, it is. Yes,
everybody wins.
Yeah. And then also, too, they were able to think about mounting this on antenna that's transmitting the signals in the 5G network that these autonomous vehicles are going to utilize, right? But in addition to being mounted on that same mast, they had chargers, that could charge up the cars wirelessly, and then do some things another way. They can have some things inside the concrete. The things when a car drive across, it's charging as well. So this is just
This is that hurdle. Like they said, you stepped over that major hurdle, and it opened up the door of opportunity. You've got the space, and you ever been? I'm sure you've driven up 59 or up 45, right?
Yes.
Like you're going to Dallas.
Yes.
You got one highway on one side, grass in
Yeah.
the middle,
Yes.
and another highway. That should all be solar panels all the way up the highway.
Right.
And there's your space to provide up for power.
Right.
And now you've got power up and down from here to Dallas. So it's
Right.
like you've got the space to utilize these things. It's just people have to buy on. And obviously somebody has to fit the bill to bring this proof of concept to life.
Right.
But I think as these bigger players, the Richard Bransons and the Elon Musk and the old dude over at Amazon, I can't think of what his name is right now,
Right.
and then of course Zuckerberg at Facebook. You get
Right.
these people involved that are real big into tech. You know, they can see and they have the resources to say, you know what, let's change the world one day at a time, one charge at a time, and that's
Right.
powerful.
Right, and like you mentioned, it's definitely changing the world because it used to be that you just had some laborers who had a little bit of understanding of construction work, construction trade. But as you start adding sophistication devices to putting in these highway systems now, putting transportation systems in, it's going to require a lot of networking. It's going to require a lot of circuitry, a lot of things, photovoltaic cells and things like that for solar power.
Yep.
A lot of surveying and additional surveying. So just letting our audience know that we keep talking about things are coming, but you have to stay abreast because you could be out of job pretty soon
Yep.
if you don't want to embrace,
Very soon.
start getting more in depth in technology.
Very soon. It is what it is. I think that I think we're doing a service to people. We're
Yes.
giving them the insight knowledge. We just want to make sure you're grabbing it. And
Yes.
especially like right now, Facebook Live. Y'all should be grabbing this, but we got to let you know this is it, good sirs. This is
Yes,
it, good ladies. We're cutting it off right here. Remember, hop over to the sphere.tv/technocrats. We've got subscription options for you. You've got iTunes, you've got SoundCloud, you've got Google Play Music, as well as Stitcher. Also, when you do decide to subscribe, make sure you share this out. Let people know that we're doing. Share the Facebook Live. Share out the fact that you've subscribed. That way, people will understand that we've got great content on the tech side that's coming to you. Also, after you share this out, make sure you review. Give us some stars. Give us some constructive criticism. Let us know how we're doing because we want to continue to build a better show. And while we're building that better show, it takes some coinage. So if you want to truly support the things that we're building here, we've got two options for you. We've got a single donation as well as a Patreon donation.
Yes.
So you could just do a subscription model for us. Remember, we've got a lot of stuff coming down the pipe. We're going to be talking about Facebook, and they've got their new Watch app,
Right.
which is not a watch, but an app that kind of competes with YouTube. We've got Android O that's finally out the box. So for all the Android users, which is big because there's more Android users in the world than Apple users, just FYI.
Oh, okay, you had to hit
it
that.
is. So make sure you tune in. Facebook, we love you. We adore you. We will see you all later tonight.
Yes.
So keeping this party going, yeah, I'm A-okay with this. I'm down with it. I can't wait for electric charging on the go. Whoever brings it to the pipe,
Yeah,
however it gets here first,
that's gonna be game
I'm with
changer,
it.
man.
It will. And
Yeah.
like I said, I hope Tesla stays in the power arena as far as providing this. I'm ready to talk a little bit about Android O, but before I do that, let's give another word from one of our sponsors. So this portion of the show is actually sponsored by us right here at The Sphere. So are you starting your business or looking for a place to advertise? Do you have a need to reach out to thousands of people across the world to build your brand or sell your product? If so, get your product placement and advertising needs handled right here at The Sphere. We offer a wide variety of content delivery platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Plus, we have a vast demographic reach within the United States, as well as modern countries across the globe. Our enriched content and inspiring dialogue, coupled with your strategic ad, is surely to hit the mark every time. Call us today at area code 832-772-7789 or send an email over to advertise@thesphere.com. Android.tv. Now, you know,
That's it.
I mean, when I can do the ad without reading the
Yeah,
card,
I know.
I just look down the card for a little bit, keep it going. Like,
Yeah.
that means I ain't did it for a minute now.
Yes.
Did it for a
yes.
minute.
But
Y'all
with
need to-
passion, though. Yeah.
Continue to
Yeah.
advertise. So
Yes.
shout out to
Yeah.
Women in Linux. Thank y'all so much for
yes.
advertising on network.
Yes.
Shout out to the org boss for advertising on network. Shout out to Dr. Richmond who's coming on to advertise on there. So it's people advertising is starting to grow. It's starting to
Yes.
blossom, man.
Yes.
It starts pushing big businesses, man.
Yes.
Big
That's
businesses.
it. That's it. That's what it's about.
Big businesses.
That's what it's about.
That is. So, Android fans, let's hop into our Mobility Weekly. So, in Mobility Weekly, we like to talk about things that happen in your pocket. And we're talking about, on today's show, we've talked about Apple. We're going to be talking about Apple in a couple of weeks.
Yes.
Because there's some rumors that new iPhone might be dropping early September. Did you hear
Yes.
that?
Yes.
September 12th,
yes.
I believe.
Yes. Not
Yeah.
only dropping, but it's going to still take everything out your piggy bank, too.
Well,
It's going to be one of the most expensive phones yet.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, you know, yeah.
It's to be expected.
Yeah.
They just think it's cool to raise prices. So
Yeah.
whatever it is. But anyway,
We're going to be getting it.
yeah, we're
Okay.
definitely gonna have that deep dive conversation. But
Right.
on the other side of the ocean, Android O. It is finally here. The latest version of Android. We had a Kit Kat, we had Nougat, and now we've got Android Oreo. So let's take a look. For those that are watching us right now, this is why you want to watch the video style of the podcast. Android O has been rebuilt. We're talking 2 times faster. We're talking some background limits, so you don't have to worry about applications doing things that you really, really, really do not want them to do. We're talking about autofill. Now, this is a great feature because I know, Jay, I get tired of putting my password in all
Yeah.
the time. Am I
Yes.
right?
Yes.
I don't know how you
Yeah.
feel about that.
Oh, man.
But I need my, and here's the beauty. I notice now that on Google Chrome,
Mm-hmm.
everywhere I sign in with Chrome, it remembers my history, my bookmarks,
Yes, it does.
and my password.
Yes.
So I can hop on, sign in, go to a website I normally use. Boom, I ain't got to remember a password, whatever.
Right.
Which is a gift and a curse, if I could be honest.
Right.
But I'm happy to see autofill at this stage come to Android O, because we need that, man. Filling in content that we need, whether it's usernames, passwords, things like that. Now, moving forward.
But can I add
Go
one thing
ahead,
about the autofill?
yeah, sure.
I like the fact that it's going to work with the apps too, applications.
Yes.
Not just within your browser, but any apps that you have installed on your phone.
System-wide.
Yes,
System-wide.
that's huge.
Beautiful,
Yes.
beautiful. Now, one of the other big pictures, and we were in that's a pun in itself. The next big picture is the fact that you can now do true picture-in-picture, basically doing 2 things at once. Now, the beauty of this piece is that you see it with the growth of multitasking, right? You see it with the increase of memory in phones. And so now you've got phones that are pushing, 6 gigs, 8 gigs, things like that. So, of course, you're going to have the ability to utilize that memory by running multiple apps more than usual at one time. So when we talk about picture-in-picture, I think this is a beautiful thing, because to be able to float around whatever you're doing, whether you're on a phone call, a video call using Google Duo, you something that's similar to FaceTime, you're doing a Hangout, whatever the case is, to be able to have that conversation like it shows here on the image,
Yes.
and be able to open your calendar up in the background, be able to just to do other stuff, flip back and forth between calls. I love it, man. How about you?
Oh, I love it. And I feel like this should have been a long time ago, actually. I know, they had the RAM may have been an issue for some, but I feel like they could have pushed it, because I know on the iPad, they had that release on there too, where you can have the multi-screen display on there. And then YouTube came out, as long as you subscribe to them,
Yeah.
you can keep the YouTube playing in the background.
Yep, which I love.
Yes, but having this on the phone, on the home screen,
Yeah.
this is a whole nother thing.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
nice. I like this a lot.
Picture-in-picture. I'm loving it. Now, next up is what they call notification dots, right? So how I feel about the dots is this. I feel like it's an ode to iPhones
Yeah.
with the little notification badges.
Yes.
So me personally, I don't like the dots. That's not something I would want to even enable, because I remember being an avid iPhone user.
Yes.
I wasn't caring about any dots. Yeah, that's not what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? Like, I cared about swiping that notification shade down, seeing my notifications, or seeing them at the top.
Right.
That was it. I don't need dots.
Right.
How you feel about that? Is it necessary or what?
Okay. Well, my take overall, I'm just giving my take on of this Oreo. Okay, I basically I'll just say the answer about the dots part. I don't think it's necessarily needed because it do like they're trying to be too much Apple-ish to me with this. They don't need it for this. So I think the notifications, like you just mentioned, will suffice. But now they're giving this, like, okay, everybody gonna start. It's gonna take away from how much good things that Oreo already has, and they don't need to add anything for Apple in this regard. I don't think.
It is.
Yeah.
Now the other thing is Android Instant Apps. Now I like this, and basically what Instant Apps is when you open up a website that has an app associated, you'll be thrown into the app without having to do an install on your phone, which means you don't have to go to the App Store, install the app, then open the app, then log in. No, you go to the website. If that website is coded for that instant app, you then have that app in a, how do I say this? Kind of for here's a great concept for the old school iPhone users. iPhone 1, iPhone 2G. We're talking before the App Store.
Right.
Steve Jobs was pushing people to use Java-based apps.
Right.
So you open a browser and the browser kind of looked like an app.
Right.
Imagine that on steroids. Basically, you open a browser and then it pushes you into the app, and it's not even installed on your phone. I love that instant apps because now that takes away the whole need to try to, do I work in a website or do I go download the app? No, just give me instant apps.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
I like
messing with
that. Yes.
Yeah. Now, next up to bat is Google Play Protect. Now, this is important because a lot of times you have issues with apps that get installed and apps start to misbehave and things like that. But what Google's going to do is work on the back end to keep your phone more stable in environments with apps that have not been, how shall I say this, where coders may have not done their due diligence to make sure that the app is running as smooth as possible.
Yes.
So, I'm going to like that. Also, you're going to have some battery improvements with Lifesaver. And for the millennials, y'all love some emojis.
Oh.
You love your emojis. You're getting more emojis. That's just what it is. You're going to get some more emojis, some more imagery. Hey, why not? And that's pretty much it. Obviously, there's a lot more stuff. If we scroll down a little bit more, we're talking deep colors, downloadable fonts, ambient screen, volume accessibilities. We're talking integrated printing support, which is big for if you like to print from your phone. Notification snoozing. They're going to categorize notifications. You get a Wi-Fi assistant. A bunch of different things that are happening in your device with Android O to make it a more stable platform. And at the end of the day, it's supposed to be faster. So, hey, why not? I'm glad they teamed up with Oreo, which is the oldest cookie in America.
Yes.
The first cookie in America was the Oreo. I'm glad they teamed up with it. Can't wait.
And for our audience, if you don't know, you get a chance, look up what that logo is on the Oreo cookie. What does that simplify? That give you a little something to do. But anyway, my take on the this Oreo, I think it's wonderful. I think it's beautiful. It's elegant. And I think this is enough for people who wanted to have a reason to go ahead and leave Apple and still have some similarities, but still benefit from all the things that Apple don't have. I think Oreo is going to be that operating system for them.
Yeah,
I really do.
Yeah. Stable.
Yeah.
Nougat is stable. Kit Kat was pretty good.
Yes.
Jelly Bean was all right. I could work
Jelly
my way
Bean, I don't know
back.
about Jelly Bean.
Ice cream sandwich before that.
Right.
I mean, it was all right.
Yeah.
So it did its thing. But I will say this: I'm excited for Oreo. I'm excited where it goes.
Yes.
I forgot what was Android. I skipped right over M. I don't even remember M. Android M. I forgot what that was, but anyway.
Marshmallow.
There
Yes,
it was.
okay.
It came and gone.
Yes.
Marshmallow. It was Kit Kat. Marshmallow was all right. Then Nougat. Nougat was stable, and
Right.
that's where we're at today.
Right, but remember we talked about on the show, the Google I/O conference, there are other great features that's going to be part of this.
Oh, yeah.
Oreo.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be a lot of other. So we just, like he said, we just touched on a few of the highlights. It's a lot more that's going to be inside Oreo.
I'm excited to see him.
Yeah.
Bring them on, Android.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Continue to make stable products and give us stability in our mobile computing. That matters. Moving forward, back into we've been all over the place today. Digital trends from the news to Mobility Weekly, back into digital trends. Something we want to talk about before we get out of here is the fact that Facebook, now see, Zuckerberg is doing some things, right? He likes to play around. He likes to have a good time, and I get it. you gotta press the envelope. You gotta talk to the big boys. You gotta push the envelope forward and test some things. So what did he decide to do? He said, you know what? We getting all this video on Facebook.
Right.
Why not create an app called Facebook Watch that basically competes with YouTube?
Exactly.
So for those that are watching us right now, Facebook has decided, or they've announced rather, that they've got their own little competitor in the works called Facebook Watch. Facebook Watch. And basically they're going right at the neck and the throats of YouTube. But here's one of the kickers that they're going to do. They're going to give those who utilize the platform, those that have content, so basically content creators. If you're watching this podcast and maybe you create content, when you put your content up through Facebook Watch, you're going to get a better ad revenue split than you would with YouTube. Meaning that same piece of content is going to make you more money over at Facebook. Now that, when you start talking dollars, now you're talking cents.
Cents. There you go.
So that may make users say, you know what? Maybe I do want to switch over. Maybe I'm willing to migrate my content from YouTube if I can get on this network that's got 2 billion people. And I'm going to be able to get views right here with bigger dollars associated. What do you think, Jay?
I remember a couple of shows, probably more than a couple, but several episodes back, we talked about how everyone is getting the game for original content. And, you know, Apple doing what they was doing, Facebook, then Twitter, and then we talked about Snapchat a couple weeks ago. But when I see what's going to happen, I'm going to say in the next 2 to 3 years, I think all these big players are making it to where you just stay in that one ecosystem. I think eventually it's going to come to the point where, you know, like you choose a gaming console, either you're going to stay with the Xbox or you're going to stay with the PlayStation. I think it's going to be like either you're going to stay with Facebook to do all your messaging, to do your social website, to post your images through the Instagram. That's it. Or you're going to have and watch your TV through. Or you're going to stay with Snapchat. I think where it's going is that you're not going to have everybody cross having a bit of this, having a bit of that, so on and so. And I think that's what they're trying to do because it's going to benefit them more so with the advertising and their metrics and their numbers. And I really don't like that, but I think it makes more sense that Facebook is saying, hey, we don't want nobody to leave our ecosystem at all.
Yeah.
We want to be able to follow that data for this consumer from what they did on the social site, from this link they click to this game, for what content they watch, what new content they posted, how many links, and everybody stays within Facebook. And that's why I see is where it's going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
If you can keep people contained in your ecosystem, then they will stay in your ecosystem, and then dollars will be made. Shout out to Apple. You've have some people have spent hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars in apps. They're stuck in the ecosystem. That kind of stuff happens, man, and it puts it in, to some degree, it puts them in this elite status. Am I right, Jay?
Right. It does. And one of the things that we definitely want to be able to do, keep our shine on. And now,
Get your shine on.
And now this portion of the show is sponsored by Elite Dental Wellness, who will help you get that shine. At Elite Dental Wellness, our vision is to create a welcoming practice that will offer exceptional dental care and a lifetime of dental wellness. We are committed to the finest possible oral care and the overall health and well-being of our patients. Elite Dental Wellness is built upon a foundation of integrity, expertise, and service. Through our commitment to modern dentistry, continuing education, and friendly atmosphere, we strive to make our patients feel that they are part of our family. Dentistry can be scary, daunting, and uncomfortable. Dr. Batiste and her team work tirelessly to ensure your comfort. Make your appointment today with Dr. Chandra Batiste at Elite Dental Wellness at 713-789-8660.
There it is. And of course, if you say the Sphere,
Yes.
you get 10% off. Put those coins back in your pocket.
There you are.
Put them back in your pocket. But once again, you're spot on. Keep you in this ecosystem. You don't have to go anywhere. You buy Instagram. You grab part of the millennials. You add the features of Snapchat. You killing Snapchat. Now you want to build your own YouTube competitor
Mm-hmm.
because there's so much video. Why not break it off? And it may not work, and that's okay. And we've seen that with Facebook, right? They broke off Messenger. That worked, but it took a lot because people didn't like that at first.
Oh, yes.
They broke off Pages. That kind of works, but still a little jerky. They broke off another app. I can't remember what it was. Facebook something. I was gonna say Stories, but it's Facebook something that they broke off a long time ago that kind of failed. It was like a news or something like that.
Okay.
That kind of went by the wayside. So they've had some hits and misses, but why not?
Right.
What do they have to lose?
Yeah, nothing to lose. And the marketers are paying them because the marketers want to be able to track that consumer in everything they go. And they say, hey, it's all on ecosystem. That's it. So Facebook has the money to be able to test the waves of the water, so to speak, with these ventures.
There it is. There it is. Well, good people, we've given y'all enough to chew on. That's what it is. This is what we do each and every week. We've had this conversation. Talk to you about this Facebook Watch, which is a YouTube competitor, not a physical watch. We're not talking about that. Obviously, working our way back, talking about Android. Oh, can't wait for that.
Right.
Because I know my OnePlus 5 should be getting that update shortly. I can't wait.
Yeah.
And then,
nice.
man, if we can get Elon on point with these, with this wireless charging, that would be dope.
Oh, I know.
So dope. And just a lot, man. Shout out to NVIDIA and what y'all are doing with the taxis, driverless taxis coming down the road. But that's it right here each and every week on Technocrats, where we're giving you the ins and outs of technology to keep you empowered. That's why we do this. Remember, if you need to reach us here at the show, shoot an email over technocrats@thesphere.tv or hit us up in social media. Shoot us a tweet. Get in our DMs at the Sphere TV. #Technocrats, and we'll be sure to get with you. My name is Gary Lee, also known as G Hawkins. Of course, you can find me on all those platforms at G Hawkins. That's G Hawkins with the Z. And of course, my man Jay.
Yeah, y'all continue to hit me on social media at Twitter and Instagram at AstroTesla80. Also, any IT business consulting issues or questions you may have, give me to Astro Tesla, astrotesla.com.
There it is. This has been another great episode of Technocrats. We will see you all next time. Peace.